if you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, Wendy Y. Bailey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the show. I'm excited to introduce you to another awesome guest, Krista Jennings. She's a best-selling author, speaker, business and marketing strategist. She's one of the most sought after, in fact, business and marketing strategists because she is known for teaching, coaching, and consulting entrepreneurs and small business owners on how to create more impact and profits by leveraging a high-converting sales funnel. You're going to hear her speak in just a minute, and it will be no news to you that Krista is Jamaican born and currently lives in Toronto, Canada. Welcome to the show, Krista.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into our conversation. So I know you're a sought after business and marketing strategist in the online community. Tell me sort of the starting point. When did you begin? And, how did it shape up that you became such a sought after strategist for the online community?
Well, funny enough, it happened by accident. It wasn't something that I kind of, desired to do or something that I was just on this path to do. But I think that things just kind of happened divinely. So about 10 years ago, I was laid off from my corporate job, and I decided that I was going to jump all the way into entrepreneurship. I had just dabbled along the way, and I figured I would just go full on into entrepreneurship. So I started with doing a little bit more life coaching and just kind of strategy and helping people just get a bit more organized in their lives. And then I found that the clients that I had were entrepreneurs and business owners, and sometimes we were talking about their business, and then I was giving them a lot of insights around their business. And one of my clients said to me, you're good at the organization and the strategy, life development and things, but I think you might want to tap into the business side of things because you have a lot of insight and a lot of information and knowledge that would be beneficial to other people. So I started working more around systems and helping businesses systemize their business, put in the tools, leverage the tools so that they can automate and systemize their business. And then that evolved into leveraging a sales funnel, because that was I would say the cornerstone of every marketing of the marketing of every business. And here I am. So that's the short story of the long story.
I love those surprises when they're not planned and you just evolve into it, because I think what happens is in the evolution, not only do you end up doing something that you are instinctively good at, you end up doing something that you love at the same time because you've already done it and it's been part of what you do. The other thing about your story that I love is you said very clearly, sales funnels, high ticket sales funnels were really kind of hot at that time. They're still very hot today. What do you know about high ticket sales funnels that you brought with you that everybody doesn't necessarily see in what they do and how they show up in the online world?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's important for people to understand that they need a strategy first. So a lot of times people reach out to me
Say that again. Strategy. Yes.
Yeah. Right, because I remember even a few weeks ago, someone reached out to me I have a sales funnel. It's just not converting. Can we schedule an audit? So she booked the audit, and I was asking her more about the strategy. What's your marketing strategy? What are you building off of? She didn't have one, right? So she spent all this money on these amazing tools, but the tools are not going to solve the problem if you don't have a strategy, right? So the strategy is it's actually the heart of what it is that you do in your marketing. And without having that strategy, you're pretty much leading yourself to nowhere, and that can be a really you're leading yourself down like this path of like self-destruction in your business. So the strategy is absolutely important.
Yeah, I love that you said that. And I hope everyone wrote down the word strategy, because if you don't have a strategy, you're not doing the thing that's going to make the most and yield the best results for you and your business. So I love that. So who do you typically work with, Krista?
So I work a lot with small business owners, a few clients who are medium-sized businesses. So people who either have been in business for at least 5 years, so they either have like a really small team and they're looking to scale up, so helping them to kind of bridge those gaps, and of course leveraging that with their sales funnel as well.
Yeah. Describe your most favorite client without naming the client. Who's your favorite client? And your favorite?
That's a hard one. I think I have a few, and it really boils down to like work ethic, right? I really like working with clients who are really driven and they are committed to building their business, and they've already have some skin in the game. So they're looking to scale up, they're looking to increase their impact, and it really boils down to their work ethic. Like that is what I'm really and truly drawn to, as opposed to anything else in terms of like the type of business.
Yeah, very, very cool. So what do you love most about serving your clients?
I think it's important for me to think about it in a holistic standpoint. And being that I like to serve people, I like to help people, I like to see the transformation that happens. I like to see results, right? I mean, like we all are building a business because we want to be able to make money, but also before you can even make that money, you need to focus on the impact, and seeing businesses come along the way of like even coming out of that startup stage and they're looking to scale up, and seeing the growth and progress that happens over the years. That is something that brings me immense joy, for sure.
Yeah, that's why the work ethic is so important to you, because you don't want to be the one putting it all together for them. You want them to have some skin in the game. And when they have skin in the game, you know, they see the results, and you get to see the joy in them when their business succeeds in a big way. I love that. I totally love that. So on a personal note, how did you end up in Canada?
That's a good question. It's not very like
mysterious
it was just at the time my mom was working for a Canadian company, and there was an opportunity for her to transfer from Jamaica to Canada. So that's just kind of how it happened, and we just packed up and moved here, and here we are over 20 years later. So
wow, you've been there a while.
It's been a while. Yeah. So yeah.
Last question. What's a Canadian characteristic, if you will, that you find useful in what you do to serve your clients every day? I know, I just made that up on the fly.
I know. No, but that's a good question, but I wouldn't necessarily say like a Canadian. I would say more a Jamaican characteristic, because that's kind of like what molded me to become who I am, and I had a lot of like my formative years in Jamaica. I would definitely say work ethic and mannerism, and just being a polite person, but also being assertive as well. I think that's really been helpful for me as well.
Yeah, I love it. One of the things that people have said about me is I've got this Southern charm when it comes to coaching that I pour into it. And it sounds like you have that Jamaican work ethic that you pour into everything that you do, and your clients benefit greatly from that. So that's very cool. Yeah. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to do our profitable wisdom segment. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lee Chambers, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Tim Fitzpatrick, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Brian Oles from Black Speakers Network, and you know what time it is. You're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. I want you to go ahead right now and like, comment, subscribe, and review right now so you get notified when the next episode goes live.
Back, we're talking with Krista Jennings, who's a business and marketing strategist and consultant. We've just been having a real kind of yummy conversation talking about a lot of different things as it relates to her business and how she shows up in the marketplace. But today, at this time, we're going to talk about profitable wisdom. You guys remember that's those 5 questions that I ask every single guest. Mostly those 5 questions, but I have had some guests where I've asked some additional questions. But we're going to hear from Krista on these questions. So the first question is, who's had the greatest influence on your life and business?
I would say my dad, actually. He's very wise. A lot of people don't actually know this, but I'm actually a pastor's daughter. So
okay.
I am. And we have such a really great relationship, and he's also very wise and always has like really good insights on things. I would definitely say my dad for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Does he say anything to you to let you know how he feels about you being an entrepreneur?
Yes, I think whenever, I mean, I'm pretty private, but whenever I share certain things, certain opportunities that I've been able to acquire, or I'm going to be speaking, or I'm teaching a class, or anything like that, he's always like,
a proud papa.
Yeah, right. And it's like, and then sometimes he's like, well, if you need me to like read over your notes, or like you want some insight on things, I'll definitely be here to support you and help you. So, yeah, really appreciate that. Love him for that.
That's wonderful. So what's the best business advice you've ever received?
Just do it, right? I think for a lot of people, they are focused on having the pretty websites, having all the cute branding, right? And it's like, well, do you actually know how to sell, right? Like that's at the a very big part of you being able to have a profitable business. So do you know how to sell, right? Like just do it and focus on selling, focus on the things that are actually going to move the needle and generate revenue for your business. So.
Yeah. I think if people did not hear that, it bears repeating. So can you repeat that? That's a definitely repeat that one. You know?
Right. Just do it, right? Focus on selling, right? So every day I organize my day in income generating activities and income generating opportunities, right? So ensuring that you're doing the things that are either going to generate you revenue, or the things that are actually going to provide you an opportunity to be able to tap into some revenue. So that's how I organize my day, and that ensures that I stay on top of things and things don't kind of fall through the cracks. So that's a little bit of a word of advice.
Sure, you're speaking to me, because that's one of the things I talk about all the time. I did a show a couple of weeks ago called Income Producing Activities for Coaches, because I think, too many entrepreneurs and coaches and entrepreneurial leaders actually focus on the wrong things, and it doesn't help when they do. So that's great business advice. So what's the largest single sale you've had? What was the amount, the circumstances, and what did you do to celebrate?
It was a few years ago. There was one deal that I did, and it was over $30,000 for that one client. And what did I do to celebrate? How did
you get to the $30,000 deal? So what was the circumstances around it?
So the client was actually a company that was coming out of that startup stage, and they were looking for to ramp up, right? So they had a bit of a disfragmentation, I guess would be a better word to say, in their marketing. So I was doing a lot of consulting, strategy and development, and working hands-on with their team. So that's around the amount that I quoted, and they paid it, and we got to work. So it was really and truly like a bigger project. So I think I worked with them for about 2 to 3 months on that particular project. So yeah.
That's very good. The question that comes to mind for me is when you quoted them the 30,000 and they signed off on it right away, did you feel like you had undercharged for what you were going to do? Because sometimes, sometimes I hear people say, "Oh, well, I quoted them X number of dollars," and they were like, "Okay," and I felt like I should have charged more because they were so quick to buy into that. Yeah,
or they didn't, even I've had other clients where I'm like, okay, well, this is what this is what our budget is, and I'm like, okay, that's great, that's your budget, but this is what I require, and that also was like a learning experience for me too, because I'm like, okay, what they offer is not necessarily what they can afford to pay.
That's
so
right.
There's
you
always room
negotiate.
to negotiate.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember, I think in the fall of last year, there was a client. They're like, okay, well, this is our budget. Our budget is $20,000. I'm like, okay, well, I'm leaning more towards 25, 26. So like, can you meet me there? And they're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So there's always room to negotiate. So don't always take the first offer. There's room to negotiate. So yeah.
Very good. Very good. And what did you do to celebrate?
I took my mom out for dinner, and then I did a little bit of shopping.
Yeah. Shopping is fun. Oh my God, shopping is fun. So what do you do? We all as entrepreneurs have those times when we feel like giving up, throwing in the towel, calling it a day with our business. What has helped you move through those times when you felt like giving up? What's your strategy for coming out of that?
I would say faith, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Faith is a big part of it, and just giving yourself
of course it is.
It should be, right. It should be, right. But also like giving myself time to feel what I feel, and then saying, okay, you can't sit in this space forever. So if it's going to be a day, take the day to just feel what you feel and just allow yourself to kind of unravel from that and move on, as opposed to think about, okay, how am I going to move on beyond this? Because you can't go on weeks and weeks and weeks with just feeling down, sad, depressed, and not actually doing anything, right? So I think it's giving yourself the time and the space to feel what you feel, and then just move on. Just try to like figure out how to, whatever steps you can take. Like if it means going out for a walk, if it means like taking yourself out for a coffee, like do little things that's going to help you to get out of that space and then start to get back into working. And it doesn't mean that you need to have a full day's work, but like do something each and every day that's going to move the needle in your business. Once you get back into the habit, it definitely will help to gaining that momentum again and getting full throttle into business. So
yeah, I like to tell people sometimes you can only do one thing that next day. So do one thing, and the next day maybe you can do two, maybe you can do three the following day. So do what you can as long as you're doing something in your business. Yeah.
Right. Taking my dad says it all the time, like you can only take one day at a time. Like you can't take 2 or 3 days at a time. So take one day at a time and navigate it through there. So
yeah. And sometimes it's 1 minute at a time. It does. It's not a whole day. It's 1 minute to get you out of whatever that is. That
moment by
questionable belief that you can't do your business anymore. If you can imagine, in almost 22 years, I've had a lot of those moments, and the thing that I've learned is to wait. You know what I mean? Don't make any drastic decisions around what I'm doing. Don't shut down things entirely. Just give yourself that space. And I love that that's what you said. Give yourself the space and then get back to work. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful. So what's been your greatest personal accomplishment outside of your business? And I know you're a single lady and all of that kind of stuff. So this should be really good. Did you see me? I did like this, like, okay, this should be really good. Let me hear.
I don't have anything outstanding. I would say I think I had a bit of a hard time when I was in university, and being able to graduate on time and get my degree. That I think for me, that was an accomplishment. Since then, I've just been living my life. Yeah, again, since then, I've just been living my life as an entrepreneur. And so, yeah.
Yeah. I think that, you've also got to give yourself some grace and some credit and some acknowledgement, because being an entrepreneur is hard. You know what I mean?
Very hard.
So to be in a space where you have such clarity about who you are, what you do, who you serve is huge. And, it may not seem like a personal accomplishment, but it's paved the way for you to live the life that you enjoy. So I'm going to add that to your personal accomplishment.
And I receive it. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So when we come back, we're going to go through our parting thought. You have a parting thought to share with us?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So we'll be right back, everybody.
What's up? I'm Chanel, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Thacker, and you're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Krista Jennings, and you're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Welcome back. I've been having a really delightful conversation with Krista Jennings. And, we talked about a lot of different things, Krista. So if there's one thing that you want to leave our viewers and our listeners with, what is that one thing?
And I think it's important for me to highlight this is to kind of circle back to what we were talking about earlier when it comes on to building your business and, just navigating this space. It's always ensure that you're leading with a strategy. So before you go ahead and build up anything, before you go and get the fancy websites, all that stuff, ensure that you have a solid marketing strategy so that you can use to leverage and build out your business in a very strategic way so you can have that impact and be able to generate the income that you're looking to generate.
Yeah, very, very true. It's funny. I actually thought that's what you were going to say about the importance of the strategy. Because if you hadn't said it, I was thinking the strategy is what's most important when you're starting to build and grow and scale. So I love that. And Krista, tell us about the gift you have for everyone. And I'll put the link in the show notes.
Sure. So it's so I found a lot of times when people are building their strategy and building out their sales funnel, there's 5 pillars that they're oftentimes missing. So I've created a training that walks them through those 5 pillars. And once you understand these 5 pillars, then you can actually build a sales funnel that attracts and converts paying clients and customers into your business. So that's what the gift is.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that? Once you understand these 5 pillars, you're going to know what you need to do to attract people to your sales funnel and convert them. I love the word convert. It's not enough for them to see it. They've actually got to take action, and it leads to income for you. So I love that.
Sure.
Thank you so much for being here, Krista. I've enjoyed our conversation.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So join us next time for the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with yours truly, Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to join the after party at profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to join us at the after party at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for more sales and marketing wisdom and insight from Wendy Y. and her amazing guests. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when new episodes are posted.